First of all, I think it has several different facets. The most important is identifying potential student athletes, and that is completely the purview of individual coaches.
The recruiting is an integral part of building a successful program, and I think with that though, there's a lot of talented basketball players out there. There aren't a lot of talented basketball players who are also really good people who can come in here and just do a great job with everything, and who I think have a real team first mentality, are willing to make sacrifices for their teammates, embrace their roles. It's hard to find that kind of complete package, and we spend a lot of time recruiting. With the recruiting, it's a daily conversation and dialogue. We spend a lot of time out on the road recruiting, but we have frequent conversations. We're on the phone quite a bit, talking with people about the student athletes that we're recruiting to identify the right situations, the situations that we feel and the people that we feel are the best fit for St. Michael's College, both athletically, academically, socially, and that's a pretty intense process.
The 21 sports we have here, we only have 8 full-time coaches. So it's very challenging for a part-time coach whose salary may be anywhere from $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 to maybe $10,000, who has a full-time job out of necessity. It's very difficult for those folks, especially, to find the time that it takes to recruit, because it is a very time-consuming process. The total recruiting budget for those 19 sports is $15,000. That's what coaches have to work with. That the most that any sport has is $1,500 for recruiting. It's part philosophy. We could, because we're Division II, be giving athletic scholarships across the board. We do not. And one of the things that has happened is that the NE10, which as you well know has 16 schools in it, originally when the conference was formed, I don't know, 25 or 30 years ago, it was the competition between schools was much more on an even and equitable basis. There was an agreement, for example, that they would only give scholarships in men's and women's basketball. We're now the only one of the 16 schools that still subscribes to that philosophy. So, when our athletes go out on the soccer pitch or the, lacrosse or baseball, whatever, they are always playing against some number of opponents who are on athletic scholarships.
Yeah, I think, it's really important within, relative to the peers in your conference, the peer institutions, the peer athletic departments, that all programs have comparable resources, in terms of staff, in terms of scholarship, in terms of physical resources, that allows them to compete with the programs in their conference in the Northeast 10. So I think that's something that athletic departments always have to be pushing towards, and moving forward in a direction that allows the programs in all sports to remain in the ballpark with other programs in the conference. I think that's a really important aspect in terms of ensuring a competitive department as a whole.
Without any question, philosophically, St. Michael's College believes strongly in the student athlete. Okay, so it's certainly reflected in our graduation rate, which is around 98, 99% for student athletes. We're at a lot of schools, even schools in our conference. It's significantly below that. So there's no question that philosophically, the most important thing for, and I think it's subscribed to by our coaches as well. Obviously, they all want to get the very best athletes they can. But we say, the bottom line is we have to be absolutely certain, because admissions decides really whether they get to come here or not, that we have to be 100% confident that 4 years after they arrive here, they're going to walk across the stage and get a diploma. We don't know how many contests they're going to win in those 4 years, or what kind of a contribution they're going to make to their team, but we have to be sure that they're going to make it as a student.
I think she's somewhere down south, down about Baton Rouge, but I just can't remember no number, a number I can use. A directory don't have it, Central done forgot it, got to find a number to use.